What's up, fam? Hope you are doing fantastic out there today. Welcome to a not so traditional Tuesday, and of course we are taking a look at the Diamondback Jack from Jack Wolf Knives. If you guys have already saw it on my unboxing, you got to kind of see the unboxing here. So with the magic of editing, we're going to skip the unboxing and I'll just show you all the components separately. So let's go right to that now. All right, and here we go. So as with normal with Jack Wolf knives, this is what you get. So it doesn't matter whether you go with the slip joint patterns or with the locking folders like we have here. Everything's the same. So you'll get your tube, you'll get your microfiber that is Jack Wolf Knives branded. You will always get 2 stickers. So really cool artwork here on the stickers. Same with the tube art. Really awesome stuff. And that is done by, right there you go, Mr. Sean Tiffany. So artwork is done by him on everything. You also get your POG. Of course, a packet of troll candy. You get a filler tab for the pocket clip. If you do not want to run the pocket clip, you can run a filler tab on there. And then, of course, most importantly, you have the knife. So this is the crystallized tie version. Again, if you guys saw it on the unboxing, you already got a sneak peek of this guy. Let's go ahead and get this cleaned up real quick and get into the knife itself. All right, and here we are. So this is the Diamondback Jack. This is the locking version of the Venom Jack, which was an earlier release and is honestly my favorite pattern from Jack Wolf so far. It's based off of a trapper design with the wicked Warncliffe blade here, and just absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous knife. Really set off by this crystallized titanium. I do believe this is the first time he has done anything like this with the crystallized tie, and they did a fantastic job. Really love the coloration here. Just really great job on the anodization and everything. Execution, of course, with Jack Wolf knives are always top notch. And of course, it's no different here. Yeah, like I said, it's a not so traditional Tuesday just because it is a locking knife. It is a bolster lock, but it is that traditional pattern, again, based off of the trapper pattern. Specs here, you're looking at a 3.35 inch blade, a 2.92 inch cutting edge. And it's now what it says online is you're looking at over a 7.5 inch blade. It says 7.55. But I do believe they are actually taking into account the total height with the closed position, including that front flipper. However, when it's open, you don't have that extra height. So by my measurements, we are just shy of 7.5 inches and 3.4 ounces. So really close to a 1-to-1 ratio on that blade to weight ratio that we really like to see. And then of course the handle ratios are just almost perfect. I mean, it's as close to perfect as you can really get on a folding knife. Something that, I really strive to see, or really like to see on a folding knife, is that really good, as close to a 1-to-1 ratio as humanly possible. Yeah, let's go ahead and just jump straight into the close-ups on this knife, and we'll not waste any real time here. So as per usual, milling and everything, fit and finish on a Jack Wolf is perfect. I mean, absolutely zero gapping, even here on the back spacer. Absolutely nothing there. Just beautiful, beautiful full-length back spacer. Perfectly matches the rest of the knife. We do have, I don't know if you want to call that I don't know what you'd call that, a blush or whatever on the anodization. Honestly, that might be from Carry. I don't know. I know this crystallized tie does kind of blemish up really easily, but this knife has been carried, and especially by me, it's kind of been hard to get this thing out of my pocket. But as you can see, this thing is just really captures the light like crazy. You get blues and teals, greens, yellows, just everything there. You can really see those blues coming in. Just really, really gorgeous. And then, of course, the greens and the yellows. Now, one thing I have noticed, we'll talk about it here in a little bit, is you can actually darken this up pretty easily and make it more of a teal color as well. Really nice pocket clip. I absolutely love the Jack Wolf knife pocket clips. They work extremely well for me. And then, like I said, you can take that pocket clip off from the inside, and then that filler tab screws in from the inside, and you can have that clean look if you want to run a just run a slip or have it as a pocket dropper. Again, bolster lock, you guys know how much I love bolster locks. T8 hardware all the way around except for your pivot. I believe your pivot is a T10. We'll double check that here in just a little bit. Of course, perfectly centered, and there you can see that back spacer in there shining through. Let's go ahead and take a look at our lockup. Lockup is perfect. Have no issues with that lockup whatsoever. Taking a look at our blade. Gorgeous, gorgeous Wharncliffe blade again. Beautiful, deep, deep hollow grind. Comes down to a super thin edge. Absolutely fantastic job on this. Plunge grind as usual for Jack Wolf, and then you have that really signature sharpening choil cutout. Typical Jack Wolf branding. You have Jack Wolf and then the blade steel S90V on the backside. A short pull, I guess you want to call it, a short fuller, whatever you want to call there, for reverse flicking or for even thumb flicking a little bit. I think I can thumb flick this. If not, it's easy to slow roll it. Jimping on the back of the blade is exceptional. Just fantastic job, as always, with these guys. Sharpening, let's see here. Looks symmetrical on that side. Let's take a look at this side. Very symmetrical. Let's see if we can see that tip. A lot of times with a Wharncliffe, you really can't. And we can just barely get a glimpse of that tip there. Let's see how, there we go, get it in the shadow a little bit. And that tip is perfect. So great job on this knife. Again, just some more close-ups of that beautiful crystallized tie. Fantastic job. I love the finish on the titanium as well. It's not quite a raw finish. It's almost like a dark wash on this titanium. It's a really darker titanium. I really enjoy that. I think it looks great. Beautiful grind lines as always from these guys. Belt satin and hand satin on the flats. Front flipper works very, very well. It's, you know, the typical front flipper for the Jack Wolf knives, for these locking knives, but it always works very, very well. Now these are, you know, his new generation of folders. So one thing that they've kind of, you know, taken to light and started working on is their detent. So this has a substantially better detent and honestly action than any of the other locking Jack Wolf knives, with the exception of his other recent locking knife, the Primo Jack. Both of those had that newer detent system. Well, I don't really call it a system. They had a updated detent and just a slightly better action than if you had some of the earlier releases like the Gunslinger or whatnot. So I have a Gunslinger, and this is by far and away a better action in general. And then the detent is also way, way better as far as tunability. It seems to be locked in really, really well, and the action is phenomenal. I haven't had any issues with the pivot backing out on this one. The Gunslinger I have, I had to you know, get a little creative. It was even backing off with Loctite, so I ended up pulling a lefty and super gluing it, and haven't had any issues with it since. But you know, it's not really usually my first go-to thing. But lefty swears by it, so I can see why. Certainly, with these, it worked really well. But I haven't had to do that with this one, and I have, like I said, I have carried this a lot since receiving it last week, and I really have zero complaints with the knife at all. Action is phenomenal. Hand feel is great. One thing I will say with this is I don't have the typical issue that I have with these bolster lock Jack Wolfs, which is if the carbon fiber ones especially, which I haven't handled. This is the only titanium one I've handled. All the other ones I've ever handled were carbon fiber. Is there was usually a really sharp spot right here, and I've had to you know, fight the urge to sand that down on mine. I think I'm going to anyway, but on the titanium version here, I don't have that sharp spot. It doesn't give me that hot spot there in the grip. So no issues with that whatsoever. That was my only real nitpick with the Gunslinger, is that you could feel the edge of that carbon fiber, and it gave you a bit of a sharp spot. Now, I don't know if this is one-off for the titanium or if, you know, the other versions are the same. But yeah, as far as the titanium version, I have absolutely no hot spots whatsoever. Of course, pocket clip disappears. It's a traditional knife pattern, so you know, if the pocket clip, if you can't feel that, the rest of the knife, it's going to feel like a traditional pocket knife. Absolutely zero issues there. There are 5 total versions. So you have the version here, which is the crystallized titanium. and then I'll start pulling the other versions up. So the next one is the Black Ice Kyanite with the DLC finish, the DLC blade and everything. Then you have the Purple Haze Fat Carbon. Then there is the Smoky Mountain Knife Works exclusive Shipwreck Camo Carbon. Saw that one in person, and it is phenomenal. Beautiful, beautiful knife. And then last but not least is the kind of, I guess you'd call it the plain Jane one, the green micarta. That one looks really good, but as compared to all the other ones, it is definitely the just kind of the blank slate version. So yeah, I have absolutely no complaints about this knife at all. They've corrected all of the issues that I had with the originals, at least the ones that I've handled. And I really cannot wait to see where Jack Wolf continues to grow and continues to make changes and continues to improve on his products. It's really nice, and like I said, it's a fantastic knife. A price point on these, most folks already know. Price point on Jack Wolf's, these are looking at $350. I think that's pretty much the same across the board for the most part on these locking Jack Wolfs. So no real huge surprise there. Let's go ahead and take a look at our hardware. I'm gonna go check the T10. I'll make sure I have a T10 here. Absolutely zero issues there. Really well done. That's something else I'm noticing here on this knife, and this is my first time taking a bit to it. The tooling seems deeper on the pivot. So on my gunslinger, the tooling is fairly shallow. So even with a really good bit, you kind of have the feeling that it's trying to walk out on you. I don't think that would be an issue here. It feels like that tooling is definitely deeper. Could be just a one-off thing, or it could be something that they've actually made changes to. So that is something to keep in mind. T8s here. Oh, let's actually use our normal check here. Use our Vera bit. Or Vera driver, I should say. Zero play there. None there. I cannot check the one under the pocket clip, but I'll check the one on the opposite side here. And check the other side. Oh, never mind, that's a T10. I'm about to say, wait, we got some play there. Forgive me, guys. I've been at work for 12 hours. I am tired and ready to go to bed. So, anyway, yeah, this is, like I said, this is my favorites Jack Wolf to date. I have gotten to handle them all, either at Blade Show or, just through various interactions and whatnot. But so far, I'd say this one is certainly very, very high on the list of one of my favorite knives in my collection currently. Just the sheer uniqueness of it and the look, the feel, everything about it, I really, really enjoy. And hopefully you guys feel the same way. Let me know what you think down below. Is this one that you own? Do you own a certain version of it? Which version do you own? Is this one that you've been looking at? Let me know all the details down below. I appreciate it. I really enjoy talking to you guys in the comments and on other various platforms and social medias and whatnot. It's really fun. And you guys are the reason I do it. So I appreciate each and every one of y'all. As always, please remember to be kind, be humble, and be EDC. Take care.